Welcome to the Good Life. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Patrick Harney. And as always, make sure to check this out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHEART Radio, any podcasting platform. As well, if you're listening to this, you can watch this on YouTube also. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe and hit the notification button as well, because that will notify you when a new episode comes out. Now, today, I have a Grammy-winning, Dove Award-winning music artist who you've heard him on Bruno Mars' 24 Karat Magic. You've heard him on Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna's Loyalty. Dude's been everywhere, and he has done some amazing, amazing work. We're going to talk with him about his new album that just came out in 2020, talk about a collaboration that was very special for him that he has on that album, and much more. So I welcome Mr. Byron, Mr. Talkbox Chambers. Let's get to it.
Y'all ready? When you feel like life is over, no need to panic, don't lose your composure. He will never leave you.
Byron, Mr. Talkbox Chambers, thank you very much for being here, man. I really appreciate you having, or you spending time to come on and talk with me a little bit.
Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Yeah.
You have no idea. I was wondering if you were going to pull that out. I was hoping, but I wasn't going to ask. But dude, thank you so much for that, man.
Oh, absolutely, man.
So, dude, I mean, you've got Grammys, you've got Dove Awards, you've toured with some of the biggest acts ever. You've worked with acts such as Bruno Mars, T-Pain, TobyMac, just to name a few, right? So my question to you is, was it a conscious decision that you made to try and be as versatile as you can be, or did that just kind of happen organically?
Yeah, that happened organically. Like, me trying to be, like I put no thought into trying to, hey, I'm going to go over here and do this. Or, it was just always organic. Like, I'm a music lover. I'm very eclectic. So I love all styles. I love all types of music. And so somehow I got to dab in so many different genres using the Talkbox. And so it kind of organically happened. And man, I'm just, what can I say, man? It's just, I'm an evangelist of the funk, man, in every genre.
I love that. An evangelist of the funk. I like that. And
I stole that from Roger Troutman.
oh man. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, dude. Come on. So and what's crazy that I just learned the other day that I had no idea was that the intro, because I knew you were on Loyalty with Kendrick.
Oh yeah.
And Rihanna. But I was trying to think, I was like, well, okay, I'm listening to it. And I'm like, I don't know, how you would do that, And,
yeah.
And then I saw a video that somebody had said, like, it's going to blow your mind that they took the 24 Karat Magic intro, reversed it, and then pitched it up.
Yep.
And that's it. That blew my mind. I had no idea.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. That whole situation was, I'll never forget the day that my buddy Jamario he's from Bruno Mars and the Hooligans. He's a bass player. He hit me up. He said, "Congratulations on being sampled by Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna." I was like, "What?" And so he said, "Yes, it's about to drop here in a couple of days." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So that kind of blew my mind.
Phone call.
Oh man! Oh my gosh! That was pretty insane. So I'm just thankful, man, for all of the opportunities that I've had doing this instrument, man. This Talkbox.
Yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to talk to you about also is you have an album that came out here in 2020, and it's called Playlist.
Yes.
You have some bangers on that album, and
Thank you.
like I said, I'm not trying to gas you up. I mean it. The album's really good. And
thank you.
And specifically, there's a song on there. It's called "Never Leave You," and it's featuring J Moss and Lil Byron.
Come
on, man. That's your son. So
that is my namesake.
So how does that? I mean, that's got to be something special to work with your son on something like that. Like what was that like for you?
Oh man, it's really, you can't even put into words the feeling that you get, that, for me as a father, man, as a dad, I remember him being this little guy. And then, next phase, he's grabbing onto my leg. Dad, pick me up, hold me, I need you. And now he's a grown man, like writing songs and producing, and now he's bossing his dad up. He wrote that hook.
Did he really?
He wrote, yeah,
Oh
he
man.
wrote that. Like the whole inspiration of the song came from his hook. And so it's a surreal feeling, man, to work with my kids. I work with my daughter, all of my kids. I have 3 kids. They're all grown now, but I work with them. Like they help me with my career, and they keep me fresh because they're in the freshness right now.
Yeah.
They're in their 20s. so they help me to. But yeah, working with him on that song is surreal, man. So fun.
Well, it's really good, and
Thank you.
and also too, it's not just your son that's on the album that's in the family.
That's right.
It's
Come
a whole
on, man.
it's a whole family affair. You
Oh,
got
it
your
really
daughter,
is.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but you got your mother on it as well.
Yes, you're right. Come on, man. You did your homework, brother. Yes.
So, of course, man. So how did that all come to be? Because at that point,
Oh,
I
man.
mean, you might as well get cousins, you might as well get aunts and uncle, anybody on. I mean, is your family seriously that talented?
Yeah, like, so my family, we grew up in church. We grew up in the church, man. We was
Mm-hmm.
at church 4 to 5 days out of the week. And
Nice.
we were so in it. Like, with my mom and dad were ministers at the church. My dad's he's a guitarist, also as a singer, musician, a minister. And so when we got to church, my brother and I, we were so fascinated with music. We wanted to play. Like, if the drummer didn't show up, I hopped on the drums. If the organ player didn't show up, I was on the organ. Or if I had to play guitar, if I had to play the congas, if I had to play the triangle, whatever. I just wanted I just wanted to play music. And so church was that haven for us. And a lot of times church would be over and we would have these epic jam sessions afterwards. And so that's how, my family, and then my mom and dad had a singing group where we used to travel. We used to tour the country. We were on the gospel circuit, and you name it, man. We played every major venue. We played every major gospel event. And so, yeah, my family is musically insanely talented. My mom is an amazing singer, which she's on that song, "Oh Lord." She's singing the hook. That's her singing the hook on that song. And then my brother's a beast mode drummer and keyboard player. And my sister is an incredible singer. And then there's me. We all, and when we came together, we were like a super group, man. It was yeah. So that's where my family, that's how it all started, and that's where the talent comes from.
That's amazing, man. Now,
yeah.
Now, you also have, well, first let me ask, how many instruments can you play?
I can play 5. Let's count. Let's see. Guitar, bass, keys, drums. What else can I play? I can play a little bit of trumpet. Not good.
But you can play it, right?
I can play it a little bit. And and then if you want to count the Talkbox as an instrument, which I think I should.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it 6 because this thing is not easy.
It's so cool.
Oh,
it is so
man,
cool. I mean, it's one of those things where I remember hearing it in, California Love.
Yes.
I even remember I was introduced to it, actually, weirdly enough, when Snoop Dogg used it.
Oh yeah, probably with Battle Cat. Yeah.
And then I remember I kept trying to, I was like, man, this is a really cool sound. But what's funny is even though you're not using your voice,
right,
you can tell that when you hear a Talkbox, you can tell it's different people no matter who's doing it, which kind of blows me away. Like,
Yes.
I don't understand how that happens. Like you sound different from Roger Troutman, and
Yes.
but I don't get it because you're not using your voice. So how is that?
That's so, man, that is so cool that you would say that. The thing that the thing I did a TED talk, and my TED talk was about that very thing.
Yes.
Miles Monroe, not Miles Monroe, I'm sorry, Miles Davis. I'm thinking about a preacher. Miles Davis, the famous jazz trumpet player. He said anybody can play an instrument. That's about, I think he said 10% of it. 90% of it is the spirit of the musician shining through. That is the key to all of this. And then with the Talkbox specifically, enunciations are different. Like, I've never heard anyone as clean as Roger besides myself. Now, there's a lot of Talkbox players out here. I know a lot of Talkbox players in the world. They're good. They sound great. But I had never heard anything like Roger and the clarity that he had with the Talkbox. So that was my mindset. Like, if it's not better than that, or if not at least on that level, you don't mess with it. I'm not going to touch it. And so, but that's what you hear. That's the difference that you hear. It's the spirit of the musician, and then the way that they enunciate. Like, most people are not you can't say Patrick Harney. You can't, they can't say that on the Talkbox. It may sound Patrick Harney. Yeah. And it's a whole difference. You know what I'm saying? So it's the spirit of the musician, definitely the way they enunciate and how that you could tell. Like, I'm giving you some really techie weird stuff about
no, I love it. I'm a nerd, man. I love this stuff. Seriously. I love it.
The way that when you play this instrument, the way that you control, and that's probably the perfect word, the way you control this tube determines how well your presentation is going to be. Most people, they get afraid of the tube, and they're like, they're trying to, they're trying to shove it down. And it's like, God gave us some teeth. Yeah, God gave us some teeth, man. Use those teeth, bite that thing down, and take control of it and say, yes, it's Mr. Talkbox. Woo! Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Take control of the tube and you become the master of the tube, and the tube will listen to you.
Nice. So do they make different, like, this may sound like a really dumb question, but do they make different size tubes? Like, is it easier the smaller the tube or the bigger the tube it is?
Oh yeah, definitely easier. Maybe the smaller the tube is, but I've been playing the Talkbox for over 25 years. Before they started making, like, the Talkstar, I'll show you this. I have to show you this. This is just the coolest.
Which I actually saw a video of you trying out the Talkstar.
Bro, this thing is crazy. So the Talkstar here, Fingers did a great job with this thing, man. He basically he has a tube, he has a tubing, and he gave us this little mouthpiece on top of the regular tube, and it's way smaller, and the sound is great. You could handle it way better with the tube being smaller, but I'm just old school. That's why I go with the normal, what is it, 5/8 inches or something like that. I just go with that because I've been playing for over 25 years. And I use the Talkstar tube with the smaller tube. That tube is amazing. And it just depends on the player. It depends on the preference of the player. And I use another Talkbox I did all my hits with is the MXR Talkbox. And the tube that they make, this is an amazing tube. This tube is soft. It's not as it's not as hard as the normal tube, and that's why it sounds and it feels so good to use it. It don't hurt you. I could play for hours and it won't hurt me. So, and the smaller the tube, that helps that out too, because you could. I've done it when I first started. Like I've cut my mouth because I've been playing it so long, and I'm sticking a tube in the wrong place and hitting the side of my cheek. It's so much, man. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Over the years, I learned.
Yes. So, all right, I gotta ask, how did 24 Karat Magic with Bruno Mars? How did that come to be?
Oh my gosh, amazing story. I'm just doing what I do. I started doing these acapella videos and on YouTube and
Mhm.
Facebook and all that. Started going completely viral, man. Like it blew me away. And as I was doing them, so many celebrities started reaching out to me, like all kinds of people, like I got so much attention through those videos. And Jamario, which is the bass player I mentioned earlier for the Hooligans, he used to start coming around to our. I was touring with TobyMac at the time, and he was coming to our shows. But I had never met him. I never met him with TobyMac. I never had met him. He was cool with Toddy Funk, which was the bass player for Toby, and I never met him. And so little did I know, if you fast forward to what was it? It was 2014. I came out with a song with Nathan East, and the song is called Daft Funk. Big jazz song that I did with Nathan East, and he's the most recorded bass player. He's the man.
Mhm.
And so that song blew up. Jamario happens to be a Nathan East fan. Jamario reaches out to me on Twitter and was like, dude, oh man, you killing it with this Talkbox. Let's connect. I want to get you on my album. So I was like, yeah, let's get it. But when he asked me to be on his album, I was touring so crazy at that time with Toby. We were gone. It never happened. But we stayed in touch. A couple of years later, 2016, man, that brother hit me up and he was like, yo, Bruno. And he had been telling me, Bruno, I think Bruno wants to work, wants to get some Talkbox, because he started messing with the Talkbox. Bruno did. He started playing.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
plays everything too, man. Bruno's
Yeah.
a beast. And so he started playing it. And Jamario had been telling him, listen, man, you gotta get Talkbox on it. He's the best in the world at it. Like, you got it. And then Bruno started watching my videos, and Bruno told me, he said, well, I started watching your video. Jamario put me on your videos a year ago. I was like, what? So he had been watching the videos, and he called. Jamario told me to call him, and he said he wants you on a song. And there you go. 24 Karat Magic happened.
Did you have any idea that it would blow up to be what it was?
I did not. I mean, I didn't know what was going on, because the way Bruno and his team works is very it's top secret. You will not know what's going on. And I didn't hear the song until it came out. All I heard was the intro that we did, and that was it.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
I didn't know how this thing was going to come together. I was like, what is, like, I didn't know. And when it came out, it just blew me away. I was like, what the heck? And so it all just started. That ride just started like overnight, dude. October 7th, 2016, or October 8th, 2016. I'll never forget that day, man. When that song came out, my phone, dude, like my phone had never been that lit before. My social media, my phone, everything was, I mean, it literally for like 2 months. Now I wound up having to change my number.
Man, jeez. Well, that's awesome, dude. And seriously,
Yeah.
like, and I have to say about the acapella, like, covers and everything that you do.
Oh.
I think one of my favorites is the medley of Let's Groove and September.
Ooh,
That's one of my
that one
favorites.
did so wow, man. That one did so good for me, man. And then
There's a reason. It's so good.
Well,
seriously, I love it.
But thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. That thing, and then guess what? It's the funny thing about that one is I put little effort into that one. That's the funny thing, bro, because I was so busy on tour. Maurice White of Earth, Wind, and Fire passed away. So I said, I got to do something. I got to tribute this guy. I have to tribute Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I took that. I just did it so fast, dude. That was the fastest I've ever done. That one and the Prince tribute. Now the Prince tribute went crazy, but those two, because I was on tour and I just had to just run in and throw it together, and it was crazy.
Well, and it's funny because I remember showing my dad that version, but because he's a big Earth, Wind, and Fire fan, loves them.
Oh wow, that's
and
amazing.
I showed him that, and my dad's sitting there, And he goes, I gotta be honest, this is really cool. And I said, yeah, isn't it? And he goes, yeah, this is really, really cool. Like I really like this. But hey,
Oh man.
so I want to ask, and this is one thing I always ask every guest that I have on the show, is because I think this is very important, and this is something that I'd like to try to promote, because I really think the world needs a lot more of it.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that maybe your faith may have something to do with this, which, by the way, I really, really love how grounded you are in your faith.
Thank you.
But how do you keep a positive mindset? Because every video I see of you, every picture and everything, you're always just all smiles and having a good time. And so, like, how do you
Yeah,
maintain that?
man. There's a saying that people that has gone through a lot tends to be a lot more thankful than the person that hasn't been through as much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I am that guy, man. Like, behind the closed doors, I've gone through so many ups and downs in my life, man, and so many, just so many things where some of it was because of bad decisions on my part, and then a lot of it, most of it was just life. You know how life comes in and just sometimes is doing the Mike Tyson on you, man. And
Yeah.
so my faith is the center of it all, man. Just being able to, my faith in God, reading the Bible. I went through a depression in 08, and when I went through that, that was my time to say, okay, is this thing that I believe in real? Is my faith in God real? Is this Bible real? And I tested that. And every day, man, as I went through that, I was in my Bible. I was reading the Bible and just trying to fill myself. It's almost like a cup that's halfway full of dirt, okay? And then you take another cup of water, a full glass of water, and you start pouring it in, and then all that dirt comes out. As the more water you pour in, that next thing you know, the dirt erupts. It was kind of like that. It was me getting all that filth out of my spirit, out of my heart, and it was really a cleansing process. And not to be preachy, but there's a scripture. Yeah. There's a scripture in Romans 8:28 that says all things work together for the good to them that love God. And I said, if this is in this word, if this is in this Bible, I want to believe this and I want to see it. So God, and also the Bible says, okay, remind me of what I said. I'm reminding you of what you said. So I want to see all this work together for the good. Yeah. And so, I look at these, all these accolades and stuff on the wall. These are all moments of gratitude when I was going through something, man. Every accolade has a story attached to it. And God has been so good to me, man. That's the center focus of it all. He has helped me. The word of God has helped me navigate through life. Prayer, my family. I have an amazing wife of we've been married 22 years.
Oh,
and
congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah. My kids, Lil Byron, Yabrion, that's on the album, and my oldest daughter, Yasmin, they are, and my mom and my dad, man. Like, remember I told you, we grew up in the church. Yeah. And I'm like, all this stuff we learned in the church, I need to see this happening in my life for real. So that's what really helps me. I really go at God hard. I'm like, this is what you said. This is what you said, and I want to see it. If I don't see it, I don't know. I don't know if I can rock with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And so God has done immeasurably above all I could ever think. Like, I never could imagine. I never planned to be on one of the biggest songs of all time. Yeah. Like, I never, you couldn't buy that, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like people, hey, I want to get a marketing company to, it doesn't work like that.
No, it does not. Well, hey, that's absolutely beautiful. It is. That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well,
Thank
hey,
you, brother.
before we wrap up the show, I want to get into the segment called The Goods. And I got 3 questions here for you. All right. Numero uno. Is there an artist that you'd love to work with that you have yet to work with?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You want to know who that is?
I do.
Beyonce.
Oh, Queen Bee?
I got to work with the queen, man. She's a harmony queen, man. I'm a harmony guy.
Yes.
Like Mr. Talkbox and Beyonce, dude.
That would
be on something else, man.
That'd be filthy. That would be.
Yeah.
That would be. God, you have no idea how much I love harmonies. I grew up in music, and I grew up in a lot of.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Okay. And harmonies have always been like, if I can hear a really tight, like 3-4 part harmony.
Ooh.
Yes. So I'm right there with you.
Reach into that old Jacob Collier bag too. That man's crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Jacob Collier, bro. I don't know if you know him, but he and I are like the acapella guys. Like his career blew up doing acapella videos as well. And as well as mine. So yeah, we're the acapella guys.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll have to check them out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Several Grammys.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 2. What's your favorite song, or what is the song that you had the most fun doing that you're featured on?
Oh, great question. Holy smoke. See, now that's a loaded question because I have so many.
I was wondering if that might get you a little bit, but
that's got my wheels turning. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
Because it was a magical moment that happened, and it's the song with TobyMac. It's called "Feel It," and that was my first. That was my first Grammy nomination. So let me show you what happened here. Hold on, I'm dialing this thing in. We're in the studio together. I'm in the studio with Toby and David Garcia's producer. And we're going through the song, we're trying to, we're going through parts, or whatnot. Toby gets up and said, "Hey, I gotta run, take a call. You guys keep going." When Toby walked out, my hands literally, like, it was like magic. And David had the loop playing, he had the beat playing, and my hands just literally started doing the whole. And it was like, what? And so he was like, "Can you do that again?" I said, "Yeah, I think and so I started doing it. And I don't know if you can hear it. Like if you really pay attention to that breakdown and feel it,
yep, you
can hear my hands clicking the keys.
Really?
You can hear the rhythm. You hear this.
That's your hands? Because I have heard that. That's your hands?
So listen, yeah, it's like. It's my hands literally clicking. And I was like, and Toby comes back in and said, "What the heck?" I said, "Listen, no one has ever done this before. Leave the hand." Like we could have easily compressed that out. But I said, "Leave my fingers," because it gives it a real feeling. And that way someone knows that it's somebody actually playing that. It's not some computer doing like this. You can feel the groove. Isn't that crazy?
That's really
cool. It was like magic. Yeah, it was magic. It was like, it was so crazy. And I said, "Leave that in there. Do not take that out." And they left it.
That's so cool. That's so much cooler that is your hands. I thought it was something that somebody was hitting or whatever. But that is really, really cool.
I've never shared that on anybody's platform, dude. So you got an exclusive, really. Like
Let's
now
go.
we're gonna have to we gotta post this, like, for real. That was Yeah. So no one ever done
I'll
that.
break it up and I'll make sure to send you
Yeah.
the clip of it.
Please.
And
Oh, that'd
you
be
can send it
great.
over to Toby.
I am. I'm going to send it to him, dude.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And my final question is, what are some methods or certain things that you've adopted to keep yourself centered and grounded?
Wow. I lost you a little bit in between that. Ask it one more time. I
Oh, I'm
lost you there.
sorry. Okay.
Say that. No,
So
it's
yeah,
okay.
so what are some things in your life that you either do or people that you have in your life that help keep you centered and grounded?
Got you. Oh, great. Man, the people in my life that keeps me centered and grounded, first and foremost, is my wife. We're high school sweethearts,
Mm.
and she knows me. She knows me. Like all of this is what the world knows. She knows the guy without the hat, the glasses, and all this stuff. She knows that guy. And she understands how I'm wired, and she knows how to reel me in or to encourage me in different seasons. And so definitely my wife, my kids too. Again, my wife, my kids, and COVID has really made us even closer. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really hang out. And then I got my homeboys, man, my dudes, man. Brian Haley, which is the former drummer, the TobyMac in Diverse City. I've been
Okay.
knowing him over 20 years. Brian Haley, my blood brother, Gary Chambers II, Ivan Santiago. These are my boys. I'm shouting them out right now. Mike Wilkins. These are my dudes, man. Like guys I can call. James Holloway. So I ain't gonna call all of them, but those are my wife, kids, and my homies. You know, outside of God, obviously God, but like these are the people I believe in my life that I could run to them and I could talk to them about anything, and they correct me. They'll tell me, hey, Philip Master, I have to say his name because there would be no Mr. Talkbox really without him and our friends Philip and Joyette Master. They are the ones. This whole concept of Mr. Talkbox started with myself, my wife, Philip and Joyette Master back in 03. And they helped me to jump this whole thing off. I love talking to them. They keep it 100 with me. I'm telling you.
And you need people like that in your life. You really do.
Absolutely, man. I gotta have those people in my life, and without them, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being here. I really, really appreciate it, and I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you, Patrick. Me too. Thank you, man.
I would love to do it again, and you are welcome back anytime.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. Thank y'all for having me, man. And I just I always say this to anyone that think of me and would like to have me a part of the show. I just want to say thank you, man, because you could go and ask anybody to come, and I just want to say thank you for having me come on to your show and expose me to your platform. And so I really appreciate it. And let's keep making this great music and keep on inspiring people, man.
Yes, sir. All right, and that wraps up this electric episode of The Good Life. Thank you so much for Mr. Talkbox for coming on, Mr. Byron Chambers. I had a blast, and I can't wait to have him back on at some point and talk some more. And thank you to all of you. I hope you really enjoyed this. I know I did, and I hope you share it and check out his music. I mean, this guy is crazy talented if you haven't heard of him. And if you have heard of him, then you know how talented he is. So make sure to let other people know about him. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.